Hey YouTube, it's Aver here, and I'm giving a quick update on my apps indie hacker journey. And I wanted to just tell you straight up how much I've made from making 8 apps. So I set out around last July, almost a year ago, and I wanted to build a portfolio of apps and make money from those apps, ideally through organic App Store traffic by optimizing keywords, uh, App Store search optimization. And I've had some successes. I've had a lot of failures. The biggest failure is that organic search on the App Store is just not a reliable way to get users. I have one app that gets like more than one download a day organically, and no one pays for it. And it's a really good app. I built a very high quality app that works very well. Actually, it's like a healthcare based app for like blood pressure, and two of my family members actually use it to track their blood pressure, and they really like it, and their doctors like it. So like, I feel like I'm creating high quality apps, but it's not translating to revenue. Um, I have made a little bit of money. So far, I've made 2,400 US dollars across 8 apps. About half of that is one app. One app has that I think it was the third app I ever made. It just kind of gets new subscribers like one or two a month, but they churn very fast. So what is the big lesson that I learned from all of this in my business? Like I've put a lot of work into building 8 apps, like tons of work, and they all are in different niches. I've had to learn about different things. I've had to come up with different designs, different logos, different names. I've built websites for some of them. Um, what is the big takeaway, right? I really think my lesson is that I need to do marketing. That is really what I've taken away from this. However, because in a year, I didn't manage to get like an app that, shot off the ground through organic App Store traffic. That doesn't mean that I think that organic App Store traffic on the App Store doesn't work. I do think it works. It's just very rare, and you have to be in like a really good niche for it. Um, and also, there may be some issues with like my screenshots, my icons, the names of my app. Those all play a huge factor in App Store optimization. But for me, like I've decided like the direction I'm taking my business is to go into focusing on marketing. I think that's the path forward for me. So then it becomes a question of, all right, I have 8 apps. Which of those apps can I market? And unfortunately, I came to the conclusion that I don't want to market any of them. I was kind of building apps based off of keyword research, like, oh, here's a keyword that has a lot of traffic and not as much competition. Let me build that app. But it wasn't coming from a place of like, this is an app I would use. I would not be the user, or I would not be the user anymore, right? I built an app for college students, which actually is really cool. I really like that app, and I am going to keep maintaining it. But it's not going to be something that lets me, build an actual sustainable business. Another thing I learned is that a lot of the apps I built are these one-time use apps where a user downloads the app, pays, gets the service, and then they leave, they churn. If I'm going to be spending all this time building, all this time marketing, like I want the app to bring value to the user more than for like one day, right? I want them to use it daily. I want them to use it weekly. Those are kind of the parameters that I've thought about. None of my apps really do that. Um, I have one app actually that does that, and it is so fulfilling to see a user pay for it, and then I check their user account after a week, and they've been using it every day. Unfortunately, with that app, it's more of like a passion project. It has to do with like writing, and writers notoriously do not have a lot of money. Um, However, it's a really cool app, and I'm a writer. I write every now and then, and I hope that I can write books one day. So I will probably use that app one day, but not right now because I'm trying to build a business rather than write books. So going forward, I'm building 2 more apps. And I'm being serious. I am building 2 more apps, but these apps are going to be. I'm trying to come up with app ideas that do me favors, right? That make it easier for me. Apps that users use every day or weekly. apps that have a higher price point, right? Because, I have great apps, but they only cost $20 a year. You can't run ads on apps that only cost $20 a year. It's not enough money to really scale that way. So I'm going to be making apps that I can charge a premium price for. And I already have one app, a couple apps that do this, but they're one-time use apps, right? They perform a service one time, the user churns. I want to be able to get a high subscription premium fee and keep that user around and make them really get the value of the app, and grow over time. Like that's the key, right? Like I'm not trying to like, because I think in B2C apps, retention is just much lower. Like consumers are fickle. Are not always going to commit to, an app to like lose weight, right? Like they might fall in love with the idea of losing weight and then they give up at some point, which is a shame, right? I wish we could make apps that would, force people to have healthy lifestyles, but unfortunately that's not how it works. But I do think that there is room to increase retention. There are apps that people use every day. I have apps that I use every day. It's not it happens, right? So going forward, I've decided on two app ideas. I'm really excited to share them with you. However, I do have to build them. I've kind of just started building the first one. Um, and I'm changing my strategy. I'm gonna hopefully show you that it pays off. I'm going to build two apps kind of in the same niche category. They're going to be adjacent to each other, different niches, but actually their data is going to help each other grow. And I also, in these are going to be kind of health apps. In my own personal life, I really want to dedicate my time to living a healthier lifestyle, better food, working out, getting more sun, getting better sleep, going on trips and lowering my stress. I had some health issues earlier this year that just like really wore me out, and I feel like I'm getting my energy back, and I want to lean into that part of my life. So I want to build apps where I'm the user. I'm going to use these apps every day. I am going to be intimately involved with, how does it feel to use the app? Does it actually solve a problem? Does it make me feel better? And is it helping me become a better version of myself? There's a lot of people on X specifically who, they point out that like your app needs an emotional hook in order to be downloaded, in order to have an ad that works. And I agree with that. But, there are apps like these tall maxing apps where the app promises like insecure teenage boys that they can increase their height. And it's like, bro, just wait like 2 years, you might grow a little bit, but like you can't increase your height like unless you have like surgery or something. And I think it feeds into that kind of like, you're not making the world a better place by making these apps, I don't think. And I've kind of just I have a AI headshot app, which is actually a very good app. But I thought that hey, I could turn that into like a AI dating photo app, and that would sell like hotcakes, I believe. So I could easily market that app, but like I just don't want to. Like even if I made money, is it worth it? So I've just decided I'm gonna go in this health direction. I'm gonna make good apps that still hook into an emotional need or insecurity slightly, but not leading with fear, right? Like leading with like health and wellness and vitality, right? And if that doesn't work, I may give up, honestly. I may try a different business venture because I don't really want to be like leeching on insecurities, right? Like I want to build apps that make the world a better place. I want to be healthier myself. I pay for apps to help myself be healthier, and people do. So I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but like I really believe in this direction, and more importantly, I believe that I can market it myself, right? I made a TikTok and I'm using my own personal identity for it, and I hope that I can market the app this way, and I hope it's more authentic, and I also hope that I enjoy it more. I'm just genuinely living a healthier, more enjoyable lifestyle and building a business, meeting and connecting with people and solving problems. So that's the update. I guess my lesson is, maybe you could make portfolio of apps work. I personally am tired of it and I need to learn marketing, and that required me to look at the apps that I have built and admit to myself that like I don't really want to market any of these. That means I have to build another app. So that's all I have to say. I hope next time I check in with y'all, I can talk about some more app launches. Um, Take care. Let me know in the comments what you think, and until next time.